Excuse my possibly semi-wet hair. I got some sheen in my skin. That's because I just put on some cream, and it's the middle of the night, and I just took a shower, and now I need to film this. Hello, people of the internet. I'm Kelly, and I wanted to share with all of you my TSW story. So you might be thinking, what is topical steroid withdrawal? And before you get any silly thoughts, no, I'm not a bodybuilder trying to gain strength. I'm just a girl with eczema. Topical steroids, they're formulated differently so that it can reduce the immune system's response to things like eczema, asthma, and possibly other things that I haven't looked into. It can come in the forms of creams, pills, and even shots. Also, I don't know anything. I'm not a doctor. This is just a brief overview because I want you to know what it is. With any drug, your body can become addicted to that drug. Since I've been taking steroids for since I was a baby, because I started having eczema at that time, my body somewhat became dependent on the steroids, which causes your skin to go through withdrawal symptoms, which is what TSW is. A little bit of background about me is I have always had eczema and allergies ever since I was a little kid. We even had to get rid of our dog and cat because my allergies were so bad. Also, my daycare had like 13 cats or something like that. So that could have also added to it. I was also allergic to pork and specifically egg whites. Not the whole thing, just egg whites. So about a year before the TSW flare actually happened, I was starting to get eczema on the back of my legs. So I was given stronger steroids so that I could try to get rid of that rash. So now that you know kind of what I have and what TSW is, the rest of this video is going to be just a video diary of my experience going through TSW to now. Eventually, on my 21st birthday, that's when this dookie all started. So I started getting a terrible rash all over my arms, as you can see here. I don't remember the last time I had a rash this thick over my arms, and it also eventually started spreading to my stomach, which I had never remembered ever having eczema on my stomach before. And also, just to be the cherry on top, I got the worst haircut of my life. I was struggling. I was called Bieber at work. I was called Shaggy at work. I was called a Karen at work. So maybe these are just associations with work. I was not looking my best. I started getting rashes all over the place. My skin was turning red and my hair looked round, which is for some people. Yes, it looks great on some people. On me, I felt like I looked like a dirty ear cleaner. Also at this time, I got a terrible cold that just would not leave, which I also thought contributed to the eczema getting worse. I went to a clinic to talk about my eczema, and they prescribed me oral steroids, which I have taken these before, but this was a particularly stronger one. This drug apparently, when taken, it prolongs or worsens colds. So I was already having a cold for like 2 weeks. This prolonged it like another 2 weeks. So first week of my birthday, or first month of me being 21, kind of ass. On the steroids, it actually got a bit better, so it was a gradual getting better. And then eventually I hit a point where it started to decline a lot. My skin started turning red and it began coming back more painful and dry. I haven't really had my skin look this flaky and dry before. And that February, I started making a food journal so that I could track all of the foods that I was eating to see if that was triggering my eczema. It seems that every time that I have spaghetti sauce, it will cause a big flare-up, which is very unfortunate because I love spaghetti. My skin was beginning to get worse, My neck would be the first to react to any skin issues, any irritants around me. So with the oral steroids, I did not wean off of them properly because of the sickness I had. I just abruptly stopped, like partially through. So I had maybe like a week left of weaning off, but I just stopped cold turkey, which I think triggered my system into starting topical steroid withdrawal, but I did not know it yet. And at this point, I saw a dermatologist. You may be thinking, you should have seen one before, and yes, but dealing with doctors and stuff tends to be very difficult. And as soon as I saw them, they gave me a steroid shot. This time, the steroids did not help. It was still painful. My skin was getting redder. I would always wake up with cuts on my arms. At this time, I was in college classes and was also working. So I was calling off from work and not going into classes nearly enough as I should have been. At this time, I was also dealing with a lot of sleep struggles because I was in so much pain and itching myself that I would not be able to have a full night's sleep. Also, one strange thing that I noticed with TSW that I had not seen anyone else talk about is that my fingers actually got wrinkly, like constantly. They were always wrinkly for maybe a week or two, and my legs started getting a lot worse. Arms, stomach, and inner thighs all had red sleeves, and I began clawing at my skin because it was so itchy. Scratch sleeves from the eczema company, and those did help for a while. I won't mention which cream I was using, but in the middle of the night, I was going to try to put on cream because, you're supposed to moisturize. I was in the bathroom, I was applying cream, and apparently it was like ripped open in the back of my neck. The most painful thing, and I keeled over immediately. I wanted to scream, but I held it in because I didn't want to wake anyone up in the house. And I fell over in pain because of how much putting on that cream hurt. So after that point, I was terrified to try any type of cream. Anything at all terrified me. Now we get to the portion where I have vlogs from the time. So I'll let her tell you what's going on. Recently, my eczema has just gotten so debilitating and I can't sleep. It hurts so much. I just wanted to stop. My grades in school have been going down. I haven't been able to go to work. I haven't been able to go to school. I keep looking at old photos of myself and being like, wow, my skin was so clear then. This is my first day documenting it. It's actually better than it used to be, but I have really bad dandruff. My skin is flaking everywhere on my face. My arms they were bright red. And right here, this is like typical eczema spot. Once my eczema started, I started getting lines in my forehead. When I was younger, I used to get cuts here most of the time. I've been getting them again, and they have earpieces at my workplace, so I can't put those on because it causes it to bleed. That's my update for today. Dryness started to kick in on my face, but mainly everything just turned red. And I had a terrible flare-up. I had essentially torn cuts open in my neck and basically had raw bleeding skin on my neck. I lost most mobility in my neck and was stuck in a constant double chin, which in hindsight is kind of funny, but looking back at the time I was a little sad. So here's a video of me taking off my scratch sleeves. I'm gonna try to take a bath. We'll see how it goes. I have a bunch of wrinkles on my forehead. I never had these before this thing. I had a really bad flare-up, so I scratched up my neck. Now I'm kind of forced into doing a double chin all the time, but that's okay. I am shedding everywhere. That's the update. This is pre-Dupixent. I'm supposed to start it tomorrow. Here is a trigger warning for anyone skip to this time if you do not want to see a major flare-up that I will be putting in here. Terrible flare-up after the shower. After the bath, I mean. It's so bad. My skin is literally peeling off in chunks, and I'm so scared. I'm trying to get it to calm down a little bit because it just got so itchy and then I couldn't help myself. It's the most painful thing. So I'm gonna wet this towel. I forgot it was gonna sting. Here's a picture of me after the incident trying to make light of it. After I put on some bandages and I took some ibuprofen, I laid down and now I feel a little bit better. My skin, I can't really open my mouth more than what I'm doing because I'm scared it'll split open the skin. I feel better even though I don't look the best. And then I had steroid cream and I didn't know it could go badly. I put steroid cream on my neck the most because that's what got affected the most. But now it's been really bad. But I'm getting through it. And tomorrow I'm gonna start the Dupixent. I've been watching Remy's skin journey to help me feel better. Oh, and another plus, my bird Taz, he was really sweet and he was outside of his cage and then he came up to me and just stood next to me, which he never really does. Now the early morning and I'm about to go to my doctor's appointment and get my first 2 shots of Dupixent because the first time they give you 2. I know I look a little bit like ass, but that's a little bit of a given. It's snowing outside, so I'm wearing this, and this because and I have a t-shirt under that because I get so cold, like I shiver in like a 70-degree room and I'm already feeling cold in my legs. The past couple days I've been wearing 2 layers of pants, but today I'm only wearing 1, so hopefully it goes well. Made it through the 2 shots and then I met up with a friend and we got to talk and it was nice. We got to catch up and I feel pretty lucky to have such a good support system and family and friends. The doctor brought up is he thinks that I might have gotten an infection. I'll have to use some oral antibiotics to help it. They said I could use a physical treatment, but I'm scared of how much it's going to burn. So I also used the pens for the first time today, and I got 2, 1 in each leg. It did hurt a lot, not a lot, but it really does. I have noticed it really hurts to sneeze. After this, I dropped out of all of my college classes and I got put on medical leave from work. I also was not able to drive. This was of my own accord because, I couldn't look side to side. My most mobility was this. And I would have to look over and do that kind of thing. So I did not think that was safe. But today is my 2nd day on Dupixent. I don't feel much better, but
I was able to sleep for a long time, and I do have to take some antibiotics. My eyes are harder to open today, and so is my mouth. It was hard yesterday, but it was less dry around my mouth yesterday.
Because I couldn't open my mouth very much, I had difficulty eating.
So I just got some fried rice to eat. So I recently have been having to use the smallest spoon I have. And then I'm able to eat it. I've mostly been using like my tongue to grab the rice.
My anxiety hit an all-time high because I was terrified of anyone seeing me. I didn't want anyone to ask questions. I didn't want anyone to see me. And specifically with kids, I just had this fear that I was going to scare them with how I looked.
Hello, people. So here's a quick update. So today is a day after being on Dupixent. This just happened a little bit ago where I kind of did peel this off to where there's like clearish skin underneath, but like the rest will not peel. And I got this on my forehead, and here I guess split a little bit, but here it feels a little bit gooey, like when I touch it, which is a little bit gross. My hair feels actually very clean and like healthy, but as you can see, there's like so much dandruff because my scalp is so unhealthy. And right here looks very, very weepy, or at least it was weepy, and then it dried up. So I did sleep a lot today. I've been trying to avoid any itch attacks. My neck and my chin specifically are very, very itchy, but I've made it through at least 2 days now without itching my neck. My stomach is very dry, so every now and then I get like a scratch mark and then it heals very quickly. My inner thighs are like the worst part of my regular body. It is a bit rashy here. I'm not sure if it's TSW or just that very dry, and I really want to scratch it right now, but I'm going to cover it back up. I'm wearing this hoodie, Sea Dog, because I love seals. It's currently 4 a.m. and I just had a terrible itch attack. I'm trying to calm it down by like distracting myself a little bit on my phone. Turned on the light in my sleep. I kept trying to itch through my sleeves. So this happened to my nail last night. I don't know if you can tell, but I'll add pictures. My nails were literally bending backwards because of how hard I was trying to scratch through my sleeves. But as a plus side, my skin is starting to peel off. And then when it peels off, it's like good skin underneath. The weirdest thing about this skin, like it peels off, and you want to know exactly what it feels like? Peeling a hard-boiled egg. Literally exactly the same. The skin outside is super dry and like cracky, and then the inside, or the real skin, is like super soft, like the hard-boiled egg, which is really weird. It's later today, and my skin has been peeling like by the chunks. It's very gross, but I'm finally starting to be able to move my neck, and also here it has crusted over a little bit. I'm actually starting to finally see my neck.
Because of TSW and my mental state, I lost about 10 pounds, which is kind of a lot for me being this tiny. And people could tell, and it was consistent with my photos. You could see in my ribs that I was getting skinnier. At this point, I also started taking pictures pretty frequently with my bird Taz. He's a lesser sulfur parrot. He helped me a lot through this journey as well. I've had in my whole life, and he helped me very much emotionally during this. When my neck did flare up and get itchy, I put an ice pack on because that helps calm the nerves so they won't be as itchy.
Hello people, it's another day, and I forgot to film earlier, but my face is peeling a lot more. I did get an irritated thing under my eye and it like cut here. It's slightly irritated underneath both eyes right now. Forehead and stuff is still irritated. After my flare last night, my skin is just really dry again. Earlier today I had a donut and a croissant sandwich thing, and then my skin I got a bit of a flare on my neck again, but I was able to manage it. So I decided to not wear my wraps on my arms today because I wanted to give it space to breathe. I'm still really cold, like I've been shivering and stuff. Sorry if you hear Taz in the background, he's just talking and because I'm talking. My eyes don't seem very red, at least yet. Like they were dry and irritated yesterday, but so far they're staying white and not irritated. I need at least 2 blankets to feel warm-ish. The cut that was here is gone. So far it's not super duper bad. The top part of my back feels more flaky than others. Hello. It is later the same day, or technically it's the next day. But it seems my face is peeling a bit more. I'm not able to move my neck as much anymore, but this is definitely more than I was able to do a few days ago. So I'm very happy about that. I will admit, I did start peeling parts of my forehead. Back of my neck did start getting irritated a little bit ago. So I have been struggling with that a little bit. My thighs are a bit discolored, splotches to kind of clear. My pants have like a bunch of dead skin inside of them. Every part of me is pretty red and irritated, but I'm healing. You see my arm, and I was actually scratching at this pretty heavily earlier. It's significantly not as like damaged as other times when I've scratched at my arms. So we're getting there. We're making progress. So
that night I had a really bad flare on my neck and ended up tearing open my neck again.
Hello everyone. It is another day. So my forehead is looking like this. My cheeks. So when I start itching, I can get dead skin off, but then underneath it's just raw, not ready skin to be released to the world. I don't quite know what to do about my scalp because, oh my gosh, I think it's better on this side of my head. Actually, I can see here, it's like clear. This is starting to peel off. So this is like new healed skin, but in the morning it'll probably be crusted over. This happened today, so like the little crack I had cracked across this line I have of my neck. Can't fully see it very well. My arms, basically flakeless, but they're all red again. So like you see this red goes up to here, red sleeves. So it went through its healing phase, and now all of most of the dead skin is off. But this is pretty crazy. It's been pretty dry and flaking for a while, so this is pretty new. This time last week I was not this clear on my arms. It's pretty dry. It looks clearer than my arms, but it is still reddish. What's been so hard for me is that I want to be out and doing things all the time, that when I'm forced to just stay at home and rest and try to get better, that it's just terrible for me. Like, I come off as being such an introvert and not liking socializing, but really I need it.
Didn't film any vlog yesterday, but here's today. My chin and neck hurt like crazy last night, and the weird thing is I'm still not really producing oils for my head because my hair is still completely like not oily at all, so that's kind of nice. My arms are actually doing pretty well. They are flaking a little bit because a few days ago they were dry and now they're back to being that. Here's just a compilation of photos showing my progress, some regression, but I just want to share literally everything about my journey. I'm making this video for past me, for people going through this, just like me, who were terrified and scared and thought the world was going to end, which I still do feel like that sometimes, but I am better than I was before, and I just want everyone out there to know that whatever you're going through, there's someone out there who is supporting you. Whether it's me or the people who are in your life actively, there is someone who cares and wants to see you get to the other side.
Hello, people of the internet, and I have improved since last time you have seen me. My skin is still really dry, but it is clearer than it was. My scalp is still pretty bad. I still flake a lot. That's gonna be unfortunate if I am sick because my throat has been a little bit weird, but we'll see. I hope I'm not, because that would suck. All my skin flakes right here. I'm looking a lot better. It does still itch here sometimes, but I have fake nails. They've outgrown like a lot, and they've chipped here because of how much I scratch, but these help it to where they're not as sharp as real nails, so it helps actually. So I'll probably redo them at some point, but I haven't. I am improving. What's unfortunate is that my face and neck are the parts that are affected the most, which is very ironic and annoying. Looking a bit better. I miss showers. That's the thing I miss the most. Hopefully gonna be healed eventually. Okay, so here's for the real ones. This is a bit of TMI. Not everyone will want to hear this, but I had the literal worst crap of my life at this time. It was horrific. So TSW, there's a recommendation for doing no moisture therapy or limited moisture therapy. I forget what the acronym is, but basically you're supposed to limit your water intake to exactly how much you need, like to survive, not above, just right at it. You don't take showers, you don't take baths, you don't put creams on, you don't do anything. You just take a limited amount of water into your system. And because I was not walking around, I was not being active, I was laying in bed sad, this cultivated the worst crap of my life. And I just want to emphasize for everyone out there that you should, at this time, do some exercise, like move around a little bit, because I know this is debilitating. You don't want to move around, you don't want to exercise, but it is good for you. I know it's hard, but it does help with getting your body and feeling like yourself. Hello, peoples. My skin has gotten not all that better. I mean, maybe a little bit since previous times I'm able to drive again. I haven't documented my progress in a little bit. I did my own nails because it's expensive to get them done at a professional place. I'm meeting up with a friend for coffee today, and I'm actually wearing jeans, which I am very happy about because I get to have pockets, and I missed having that. It's weird how many things I miss after going through TSW. My hair's finally growing. I'm still not the happiest. I still got dryness all over me. I actually won bingo night. A thing I needed to add is that I feel very lucky for the people I have in my life. Even people I call every now and then, people I talk to every day. As a kid, this is what I hoped and was asking for every day. And now that I'm 21, I can finally have it.
After this point, it's going to be a lot of pictures of my neck because that was the worst part of my body for the most part. That was the only part that was really getting weepy frequently. So basically the cycle of my neck was it gets ripped open and then heals maybe for about 3 days, gets ripped open again, heals for 2 days, rips again, 3 days, rips, maybe even 4, but then rips again. Because I didn't have the self-control not to itch it. It's so freakishly itchy. It's hard to explain. And I want to emphasize to people out there that might be going through something. It may not be TSW, but it might be something else. But I held off doing the things that I loved and gave me joy because I was scared of what people would think of me. And I just want to encourage you to do the stuff that you care about and love to do and not hold back for anything. And feeding into don't avoid doing the things that you love and care about. My favorite band or music artist, I guess, is Knox. And he went on tour while I was going through TSW. And not to flex, but I am flexing. I am in the top percentage of listeners on YouTube Music. I know not everyone uses YouTube Music, but I like it more because there's some songs that are just on YouTube that aren't on Spotify. Knox was going on tour, and I got VIP to see him live. And here's a picture of me at the VIP meet and greet. I do look a bit like a creep. I don't know why I was looking at the camera like that. I got to sing my little heart out. Here's a clip. The morning before the show, I had a terrible flare-up. I can show a picture here. It's a little bit, you might want to skip it to here. So that's what my neck was looking like before the show. It was very raw and painful. And I was scared because it was just so red and raw. I didn't know if I would be able to go to the show. I couldn't drive. But thankfully, because of the people who I have in my life, they were able to bring me to the show. And I'm so grateful that I got to go and experience this. Oh, at this point, I got my blood drawn, and I was really scared that I would tear open my skin there. But I did not. So that's a good thing. And also, holy mackerel, I got to hold a rat. Its name is Brie. Isn't that adorable? So yeah, here's a picture of 2 rats. The other one is me. And in these photos, you can tell I'm doing a little bit better because I'm smiling in them. With my friends, we like to play monikers. It's basically charades. In this particular round, we weren't allowed to use words. We just had to use symbols or like movements. The only cards I got was licking your own elbow and cleavage. So, I know where it's at. Around this time, my right eye started leaking all the time. It was constant. It was so constant that it began to get raw underneath my eye. It was sealing shut every morning. I also formed a bit of a bump on my eyelid. It has since gone away, but that was a bit of a frustrating thing for a little while. And these photos are leading up to my trip that I took with one of my friends to Hawaii. We got Shakalicious gummies for the flight. I got to travel with my stuffed animal Ham. Side note, isn't this the cutest Squishmallow in the world? Like, this is the most adorable Squishmallow I have ever seen in my life. And I will stand by it for eternity. I love Ham. I adore Ham. And here's a picture of me from the hotel. And there's a pigeon and some sand. The first day I swam in the ocean and it wasn't really painful, so that's a win. I also wanted to drink straight from the coconut and then realized how freaking sunburnt I was. I got so sunburnt the first day. Everyone who went got sunburnt, and it was a bit of a challenge the rest of the trip. But I tried the coconut water and realized I hate coconut water. It is so sour. I almost passed out on a hike. Look at this picture of me. Don't I look great? Look at him. He's in Jurassic Park. That was taken right outside where Jurassic Park was filmed. Also, on this trip, I got to see my favorite animal, a seal, in real life. You could not tell by the other things I have. I adore seals. So this was the first time I saw a wild seal in my life. Well, I've seen them in the zoo before, but this was my first time being near one. And Hawaiian monk seals are really rare, so I didn't think I would see one, but luckily enough I did. Fairy tale over. We're flying back to my home state, and as soon as we land, it seems like my body understands that we're back, and my back starts acting up. For some reason, flights back to my home state seem to just tear up my back. I have scoliosis as well, so I think it has to do with maybe the air pressure or something like that. As soon as I came back, my eye issues got worse and worse. The dryness underneath just seemed to spread. So I went to my dermatologist. They're like, okay, go see an eye doctor. I go see an eye doctor. They tell me, you got to see an eyelid specialist. I go see the eyelid specialist. They tell me, this is actually a dermatologist problem. It's not with your eye, it's actually with your skin. So I just went in a whole round loop-de-doop for nothing. I started waking up with both of my eyes sealed shut. I had a couple bad flares on my arms, and here we skip forward to the trip I took with my friends, where my skin had regressed dramatically. And at this time, I was so depressed, and I felt like it would never get better, and I would just be stuck there forever, because TSW does not heal linear. At this trip, it's the darkest place I've ever been in my life, and I almost did something that I could not take back. And I hope that anyone out there who ever feels like this, that you reach out to someone, because there is someone out there who cares for you. And it hit a real tipping point that night. You are not alone, and you do not deserve to be alone in those times. That's the closest I had ever gotten to that in my life. And I hope that all of you know, whatever's happening, you are strong enough to get through it. You deserve a long, fulfilled life. Please call 988 for the suicide crisis Lifeline if you are ever feeling like this. If you guys remember from the Knox top percentage people, Simple Plan was also on that list. Once I got back from that trip, I got to see them live with Lolo and Bowling for Soup. Very good bands. Here's a clip. I love jet lag. Now we're getting to pretty close to recent. I started using Vanicream to moisturize my skin. For the longest time I wasn't using moisturizer because of no moisture therapy. And now I have been using moisture. As you can see, I'm looking like a glazed donut right now. And I also got some supplies to repair my hair, because going through this damaged my hair greatly. I just hope that what you learned from this is that you are strong enough. Never stop doing what you love. And don't let anything or anyone else influence what you do and stop you. If you guys want to take my old saying to heart as well that I came up with, I just want to make my little kid self proud of me. And if I'm doing that, then I'm winning and I'm doing well. and I'm sure she would be proud of me. Gosh, throughout the filming of this video, my voice has started to die. You can hear it. Ah. Well, that's kind of me acting it out, but I can feel it. You can maybe hear it. But if you want to see any of my other content, it is not nearly as heavy of a topic as TSW is. I have about 4 backlogged videos queued up for you that were filmed years ago. So it might be a little out of date. It might seem like, oh, she hasn't seen as much trauma as before. Well, yeah, she hasn't. And then it'll be current me eventually in whatever skin condition I'm at. I also wanted to shout out Remy's skin journey because she really did help me when I was going through TSW. She has a lot of vlogs showcasing how her TSW was. I also started taking vitamins. I think these are the most vital add-ons to my diet into what has helped me physically. When I stopped taking my vitamins, I actively hit a pit of hell. The ones I have been taking are vitamin E, vitamin D, vitamin K, and I've also added biotin and keratin to my diet as well. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you liked it. Anything that I've most likely mentioned will be in the description below. If you have any questions or anything you would like to add, I read all the comments. That's what I will leave you with. I will see you next time. I am Kelly, I am Creations, and bye.